So Costco, Walmart, and Target are all doing something that could be great for the American people. It could be great for our financial well-being and for our savings accounts. But this could quickly backfire. I'm going to explain what Costco, Walmart, and Target are all publicly stating that they are doing. But if this goes sideways, it can go backwards in a hurry. I want to explain what's happening, how you will be impacted, and what we are likely to see for many other retailers as well. So I'll break all this down in just a moment, explain what is going on and how you will be impacted. But first, before I do, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now let's begin. Right now, what is going on is that millions and millions of Americans here in the United States and millions of people all around the world are waiting to hear what President Trump is going to pretty much push on every other nation. That is tariffs. These tariffs are causing a lot of chaos. I want to show you this though. Walmart keeps price pressure on suppliers after Beijing pushback. Here's what's going on. I said this was going to happen. I told you this is kind of the process. So here's what's going on right now. President Trump is going to impose tariffs on many countries today. This is April 2nd, 2025. Now, when he imposes these tariffs on all these other nations, what's going to happen is many of these retailers here in the United States are going to have to absorb the cost or push it over to their customers. Well, here's the issue. If you push the increase over to your customers, those customers are going to stop coming because they cannot afford it. They can't afford to keep paying more and more and more simply to pad your pockets and ensure that you still have the profits that you want. Well, here's another option. You leave prices where they are. You don't touch the prices, but you don't actually pay them either. You push prices down. You tell the suppliers that, hey, I can't pay that. I can't push the increase over to my customers, so you have to absorb it yourself. Look at this right here. Target also does this. Target follows Costco and Walmart's lead on tariffs. Here's what's going on. I said this was going to happen, and it has. Target is reportedly pushing its Chinese suppliers to absorb some of the cost of U.S. tariffs, following in the footsteps of retail giants like Costco and Walmart. With tariffs on Chinese goods set to increase on April 2nd, which is today, major U.S. retailers are rushing to offset the costs. This has added more pressure on Chinese exporters who are already facing the impact of years of tariffs and slim profit margins. Here's what I can tell you. These Chinese exporters, these companies, they are selling products at very slim margins. Very slim. I've worked with several suppliers over the past several years, and they do not make a lot of money. Okay? So with that said, if President Trump imposes tariffs on all these other countries, and he's already done it with China, but it could actually go up. If President Trump does this with every single country, it doesn't matter if we get products from Europe, from China, from Mexico, from Canada, from some other country. It doesn't matter. Okay, Australia, wherever we go, we are going to be paying a little bit more. Well, what Costco, Walmart, Target, many of these retailers are now saying is they are pushing the responsibility over to their suppliers, saying you need to take at least half of this. Okay, you need to pick up some of the costs here. Look at this. It says in one case, a Chinese supplier of hairpins and claw clips said Target requested they pick up half the cost of the tariffs. After attempting to negotiate, the supplier saw delays in their order and ultimately lost the business. Target has not responded to multiple comment requests. Now, here's the reason why I think this is so big. And I want to show you what President Trump and what many economists believe is coming for the United States. So I want to play this for you and then explain why this is such a big deal. Look at this right here.
There are several unknowns, including how the White House plans to structure this. The White House trade advisor, Peter Navarro, said on Fox News Sunday the tariffs could raise $600 billion annually, which some took to imply an average rate of 20%. According to some reports, the president has considered a flat 20% as a way to generate more revenue to offset the tax cuts he hopes to push through Congress. But Moody's chief economist said yesterday a 20% universal tariff would be a worst-case scenario combined with full retaliation from other countries on U.S. goods. Moody's claiming its simulation with those inputs would wipe out 5.5 million jobs, raise unemployment to 7%, and drop GDP by 1.7%. But the president's allies say it is not going to come to that.
Okay, so we could bring in $600 billion this year. $600 billion in additional revenue through tariffs. That's huge because this is actually going to allow us to get rid of some of those taxes that we're already paying. Think about it. Think about how we are paying taxes. The American people are paying taxes to use the items and the services and everything here in the United States. Why should we have to pay for it? Why shouldn't the other countries pay for it? That's what President Trump says. But here's why this is such a big deal. Okay? And I'll go back to this article again. It says right here, okay? This supplier of hairpins and claw clips, okay, Target wants them to pick up half of the tariffs. Well, while negotiating, the supplier saw delays in their order and ultimately lost the business. Target, who's a massive retailer here in the United States, they delayed their order, and then this Chinese supplier lost Target's business. Think about this. Target decides, we're not going to buy from you anymore. Walmart decides, we're not going to buy from you anymore. Costco decides, we're not going to buy from you anymore. Even Amazon decides, we are not going to buy from you anymore because you are not negotiating with us. You're not working with us on these new additional costs. So guess what? All these Chinese companies, they're either going to have to do what we are asking, lower their prices, where they are going to be the ones that absorb the costs, or eventually they're going to go under. I talked to a friend of mine just the other day, and he was saying that his supplier, and I'm not going to tell you the product that he sells. So he sells this item on Amazon. He does Amazon FBA private labeling. If you don't know what that is, just Google it. But anyway, that's what he does. And he was telling me just the other day that his supplier says that within 1 month, they will likely be out of business. Okay? They will likely be out of business. And it's because they are not making the products that they once were because they cannot absorb the costs, because then they'll be losing money. So it's either they lose money or they go out of business. Well, as a business, you cannot continue to lose money. Okay? That makes absolutely no sense. So essentially, they're going to go under. That's what he told me just the other day. That within 1 month, they will be out of business. Which is unfortunate because that's also a supplier that I used in the past. So, here's what I can tell you. This is either going to work and it's going to go really well. Okay? Very well. Okay, and I'm going to play this. I'm going to play the clip for you again in just a second. But this is either going to work and the American people are we're going to benefit from it. And like I said earlier in the video, or earlier today in my video I did this morning, that there's going to be short-term pain, but it will equal a long-term gain for the American people. But again, these are just 3 retailers that are already saying, well, they're trying it. Some are getting pushback. Others are having some success where the suppliers are able to lower their prices. But keep this in mind as well. As suppliers lower their prices, there's a very good chance they're going to start using inadequate material. We are going to see the quality of certain products go down just so that we can keep prices level. But here's why it could quickly backfire. Let me play this for you again.
20% universal tariff would be a worst-case scenario combined with full retaliation from other countries on U.S. goods. Moody's claiming its simulation with those inputs would wipe out 5.5 million jobs.
So Moody's says with 20% tariffs across the board, that's going to wipe out 5.5 million jobs. Okay?
To raise unemployment to 7%.
It's going to raise unemployment to 7%. That's huge. We're sitting at what, 4.1% right now? So it's going to raise it to 7%. That's a massive number. That's a massive number. That means millions of people will be out of work. Okay?
And drop GDP by 1.7%.
And it will drop the GDP by 1.7%. That means the American people are not spending money. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, Costco, Walmart, and Target are all doing it at this time. And some are having a little bit of success. But this could also quickly backfire, which would hurt millions and millions of people. So as we get more information on this, I promise I'll bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get them. But as of today, that is what we know. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.